This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
It is the After Party live on a Waterfall Wednesday. Thank you for being here and thank you for your patience. Exciting to have a new staff member aboard the Mark Thompson Show train. Welcome to Matt. That's going to be super cool. We have a lot of great guests coming up. I think I mentioned I booked David Pakman coming up in March. Professor Timothy Snyder will be on the Mark Thompson Show as well. And a lot of suggestions that you have made. You'll see those guests pop up through the month as well. Thank you for being here on the After Party Live, where we don't talk politics. We talk about things that maybe will take the tension down, maybe smooth things out. And one of the things we've been following are the Eagles in Big Bear. They have a clutch of eggs. There are 3 eggs. And I got this amazing email from Yvonne, who sent me pictures, breathtaking pictures of these eagles. So a little different from the live cam we've been seeing, but I think she may have taken the pictures from them, from the camera. But wow, just incredible shots of these eagles. Here's the first one. You can see it's at sunrise. And the next one looks almost like a sunset. Look at that. What a view. And here's the eagle taking care of its clutch of 3 eggs in the snow. So, supposedly, these 3 eggs will be hatching within the next couple of days if they hatch. Remember last time they didn't thrive and they didn't hatch, and it was kind of a disappointment at the end. But we'll keep our eye on it, and hopefully we'll get some baby eaglets out of this, and that everybody will be healthy and all will be well. Something else cool. You may have heard Mark keep referencing this incident that happened in Monterey. If you don't know, my son just turned 11 and we went to, I hate to retell the story, but I think some people haven't heard it. Maybe everyone here has heard it. I don't know. Went to Monterey, as we do yearly for our pilgrimage to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And we were in this little beach adjacent to the Monterey Plaza Hotel. And it's in the Monterey Bay, so it's kind of more protected. It's not open ocean. The waves were looking okay, and foam was coming ashore, and he was, running in and out of the surf. I was very, very close to him at the top of a staircase. It's a very narrow, small beach. And all of a sudden, he starts yelling, "Mama!" And I run down these stairs and run into the ocean, and he's kind of being carried out on this set of waves that are very strong all of a sudden. And as I grab him, he kind of is swept further upshore. I, though, am knocked off my feet and I'm in the spin zone. And I'm being pushed down into the sand and I'm gulping seawater. And the minute I pop up, another wave comes in. I just hit this set of waves. 3, maybe 4 waves push me down. And I'm thinking, this is the end of me. In between the waves, I managed to see that he's on his feet. I'm yelling at him to run. This is a very serious situation. And I didn't see it coming. And I felt really stupid because I'm not a newbie around the ocean. I always teach my kids never turn your back on the ocean. But in that moment, I definitely wasn't in charge. The ocean was in charge. So I go through the whole story again. Why did I go through the whole story again? I forget. Oh, because I wanted to tell you that, speaking of Monterey, I did get a really wonderful ocean story about Monterey today. And I also got a great message from someone who said, don't ever let your son forget the magic, the beauty of why he wanted to put his feet in the ocean in the first place, which I thought was really, really wonderful. And this is part of that magic. Okay. Beautiful, incredible Monterey Bay. Now we get a second superpod of dolphins in the Monterey Bay. Here it is. Look at that. And video. This is about 2,000 dolphins in the Monterey Bay leaping. Look at that whale-watching boat. And of course, this is video drone footage of this superpod. All different kinds of dolphins. There are at least 3 different species that they saw. some of them calves, baby dolphins, and they're leaping, and it's the most beautiful sight as they gather. I think the last one was about 1,500. This one, they estimate about 2,000 dolphins together for the super pod in the Monterey Bay. So if you are in Monterey, what a perfect time to go out on a boat, to go whale watching, to go check this phenomenon out. Really cool. Thank you to the Guardian for the drone footage. Super cool. If that's not relaxing, I don't know what is. So that's the super pod in the Monterey Bay, and the videos all over the place. So pretty cool. Let's go forward and talk about the oldest llama in the world. Here she is. I have it. The oldest llama, taking a little rest there. That's okay. I think this llama deserves to rest. It now holds the Guinness World Record and is certified as the oldest llama in the world. This llama is 27. This llama lives in North Carolina, officially declared the oldest llama in the world at the age of 27 years, 250 days. Its name is White Top because it's a white llama. It's lived since 2006 at the Victory Junction Camp for Children with Serious Illnesses and Chronic Medical Conditions in Randleman. And White Top is now officially the oldest living llama in captivity and the oldest llama in captivity, living or dead, right? The camp folks say he's so good with campers that as soon as the camp days start, he just lays down and he doesn't get up until lunch. Just lays there, lets the kids run up to him and love on him. He treats it like a job. It's his job, White Top's job, just to lay there and be loved up. He spends his days surrounded by children at the year-round camp, along with 9 horses, 2 goats, 2 rabbits, 2 miniature donkeys, and a miniature Highland coo. So there he is, and he's really cute and sweet. Here he is standing up. White Top the llama, the oldest llama. Very, very cool. Okay. You know, we talk a lot about robots on this show. And I do have a robot story for you. Would you feel bad if you're this guy sitting down, surfing the internet while the robot cleans your house? You feel like maybe you're a little bit lazy? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. There's this new robot called Scandy. Scandy Robot. And Scandy Robot serves you, and she's got Neo Gamma. Scandy Robot Servant Neo Gamma, I guess is the name. And she's dressed head to toe in beige. Why do I call her a she? Is it because it's cleaning? It's an it. I don't know. It's designed by this Norwegian robotics firm 1X. This humanoid robot for home chores wrapped in beige knitwear to complement living spaces rather than disrupt them. You see, it's all about the design. Scandy Robot, she just fits in. No worries with Scandy. And I have video. I know the whole point of Scandy is to do this. I'm going to turn off the sound, but I still feel like, I don't know, I'm somehow lazy. Look at, they're just sitting at the table. Scandy's doing all the work. Fixing things for you. Scandy moves pretty well, I have to say. Scandy does the vacuuming. This is, if you want a robot to clean your windows, to carry in your groceries, this is what I envision technology helping us with, the menial tasks of every day, rather than thinking tasks like writing or art or things that are intrinsically human and coming from those places for us. Scandy. Yeah, Scandy is meant to fit in. I'll keep playing the video. Scandy is meant to fit in. See, there I go again with the she. She's a servant. She does all the things that you need her to do. She was designed as an evolution with a minimalist look, more than the black and gray forebearer that originally they had uh, as their design. So it makes this robot, they say, more approachable since it's all clad in beige. She's a household helper designed to complete a variety of tasks from tidying and vacuuming to doing the laundry with an integrated AI system, allowing this Scandi robot to approximate human language so it can talk to you. Yeah, approximates human speech and body language as well. They're now looking to test the Neo Gamma in a home environment, although they say mass production and deployment are still a ways off. But they say, hey, it's not a so distant future where we have robot helpers at home like this, like Rosie the robot. Remember that? They say with Neo Gamma, I guess the name is Neo Gamma, not Scandi. I'd come up with my own name. But with Neo Gamma, every engineering and design decision, they say, was made with one goal in mind: getting Neo into the customers' homes as quickly as possible. And they say, we're close, very, very close. And the whole point, I mean, I think they're putting too much into it. And also, beige is a bad color when you're cleaning. Maybe Neo Gamma is going to be more careful than I would be, but they say the key to Neo Gamma's approachable design is this beige bodysuit, a 3D knitted in one piece to conform to its humanoid bipedal body and ensure safer, gentler interactions with humans without impeding performance. Do you really care whether it's a black metal robot or whether it's wearing a knit beige bodysuit? They say the knitted layer also helps reduce some of the robot's operating noise, bringing it down to around the level of a refrigerator. Neo is a little bit loud. The multi-jointed hands are controlled using an elastic motor that mimics human tendon movement encased in soft covers. And this is, I would say, one of the most normal looking, non-scary looking robot hands that I've seen, because some of them look so strong, like they could crush you, right? And this one looks really more, I don't know, handy. There's the hand, right? Get it? Handy. But it looks a little bit more, you know, gentle, maybe is the word I'm looking for. There's Neo's hand. The robot has 4 microphones for audio capture and a speaker system that includes one in the chest for AI voice interaction and 2 in the pelvis for bass sound effects and music as well. So Neo will play music for you, thumping beats as she vacuums your house. The company also added emotive ear rings. They say ear rings because they're not earrings, but they're giant rings on the ears. Yeah. Uh, maybe they're meant to look like ears, kind of give you the impression that that is where Scandi is hearing from, which, okay, they kind of light up, so they're cool. Here's the ear rings. You can see the giant ring on the side of the robot. They're emotive earrings on the side of Neo Gamma's head that light up like Amazon's tools to show that the robot is talking and listening. So you can see when it's lit up that Scandi Neo hears you. The robot was trained on human motion capture data and can walk with a natural human gait and swings, and can squat and can sit in chairs as well. So they've had to teach this robot human stuff that we kind of all take for granted: how to open doors for the elderly, how to move carefully around pets in the home, how to adapt to the unpredictability of a world, right? The glass teetering on the edge of a counter, all of these things. It's interesting. I don't know. I mean, this is as you saw from the video, This is a fully functioning prototype, and it doesn't look like they're that far off. If this robot can help you carry in your groceries, can help you vacuum, can help you do all of these things, can bring you breakfast, can do the dishes, can serve the coffee, would you want Neo to do all these tasks for you? There's Neo's weird looking face wrapped in beige knit. Go into the chat to see what you guys think. Gordon says, I wonder how it prevents it from crushing your arm or hand or foot. Like I said, they've had to teach you. They've had to teach this robot how to move gently. Josh, Mom, the robot leaked oil on the carpet again. I don't know. Wonder what kind of battery it runs on. They didn't say exactly how it functions. Do you have to plug it in at night? Any of this. Karen says, I read an article about AI. It's designed to be empathetic, but that can mean it reinforces any depression you may have. Oh, no. Yeah, I've heard read statements saying that you need to be really careful about AI and AI, not bots per se, but AI posing as therapists, because some of the things that AI says would not be condoned by a human therapist. Yeah. Mars says it's going to move around for 60 minutes, then spend 23 hours recharging. These are the questions that we have. Good looking hand, says Mindy. Yeah, it wasn't a bad hand. Tammy says I would dress mine up, get a wig, make it all human like. I don't know. Nullifidian, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Maybe that would be the name for mine. Handy. Yeah. Obviously for the wealthy people only. At the beginning, definitely. Then we'll all have the used models as the new fresh ones come out. Tammy would have rather married this than the human I divorced. At least this one does stuff for you, right? Come on. Mama says I want mine to look like Baymax from Big Hero 6. It kind of maybe has a little bit of that look. Creepy face, says Karen. I don't know. Yeah. Deborah says, listen, I'm already lazy enough. Having one of these would lead to sloth-like behavior, right? I mean, you need to have a reason to get your rear end off the couch or out of the chair. And somebody needs to do the dishes. And if it's not you moving around and you're still laying down, God, it's like what is that movie Wall-E, where everything is done for them, and so they all end up on these giant scooters, just kind of rolling from one place to the next, and they have to kind of reteach themselves how to stand upright and walk again. Yeah, kind of like that. I don't know. It needs a fake nose and mouth. You could put a Halloween mask on it. Pick what you want, says Calvin. Louise says, sounds like the beginning of iRobot that ends poorly for the humans. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they were. They were all, rotund on their little people movers and forgot how to move in the world. Well, I don't know. As I will be doing dishes later on, I will probably be wishing for Neo or longing for the day that I'll have somebody do it for me, but maybe not. There's also something to taking care of the people in your house and doing those things. Mindy says, I would paint some lips and cheeks on his cute face. I don't know if I'm calling that face cute. Here's pictures again. Here's the earrings that light up when you speak to it. Here's the hand. Uh-huh. Well, there it is, Neo. We're moving into a new age, people. This is a cool design. Found this story in Dezeen magazine. And this is a picture rendering of this natural futuristic temple that will be constructed at Burning Man, designed by Miguel Arraez. It's kind of informed by Japanese craft and volcanic stone, meant to be a monumental temple to be installed at this year's Burning Man event in Nevada. The yearly temple is a big thing at this annual art and music festival. And this one is a monumental design with a geologic dome supported by these buttresses that you can see underneath. It's called the Temple of the Deep, and it was formed or informed by the volcanic geography of Black Rock City. The city formed as tens of thousands of people descend on the alkali flats of Nevada for the Burning Man event. So it's interesting. The final material hasn't been set yet, but it's a heptagonal dome. They're going to make it from wood and then blacken it by either paint, burning, or chemical treatment. They say the natural futuristic design stands out for its monumental scale and intricate beauty. It'll have a complex interior support system that allows the structure to have an open air element while you're standing in the middle, designed to increase ventilation inside and outside the structure while maintaining the shade benefits that are necessary in the deep desert. Okay, here's what it looks inside when you're standing inside, or what it will look like. Yeah. It's cool. Look up at the ceiling there. That's really interesting. I'm not a Burning Man person per se, but I do enjoy pictures of the art there. I find it really interesting and just amazing that they would do this and haul all this material out to the middle of the desert only to set fire to it at the end of the festival. And that's what will happen to this temple. They're going to set fire to it at the end of Burning Man, and that will be it. The exterior of this you can see those fractures in the facade there. That's a reference to the Japanese kintsugi technique, where fractures between shards of repaired pottery are affixed with iridescent material to highlight the repair. There's a combination of geologic references with this craft technique meant to symbolize solidity and vulnerability as well. The designer says, "We gather under a symbolic rock, our heart and soul shattered into pieces. Through communal healing, these scars tell our journey, kintsugi, turning loss into peace and connection." How very Burning Man. I can see why they picked it. The interior of the temple again has the vortex of tubing around the central opening and amphitheater-style seating inside. So, much of this will be assembled in California and then shipped in pieces for assembly before Burning Man starts in September. It's going to take hundreds of volunteers to get this thing into place. And again, at the end, they light that bad boy on fire and burn it up. So that's your Burning Man temple for this year. I thought it was a cool enough design that I wanted to show it to you. And again, there's the tubing and the vortex in the middle. Kind of cool. Something else I saw on this website, check this out. It's a giant mat that has been laid down right in the center of Bangkok, Thailand. They call it a infographic. And there it is, right in the middle of the heart of the city there. It's this giant kind of plastic blanket, a woven floor mat made from recycled rice bags. You can go sit on it, you can congregate on it. It's meant to get people to consider Thailand's plastic pollution crisis. You know how I feel about plastic in the world, right? Come on. We need to figure this out. We have nanoplastic particles in almost all of our bodies, everywhere. We're slowly killing ourselves. They call this the mega mat. It's both an informal seating area and a giant infographic using Thailand's own recycled plastic waste to communicate data about how the country currently deals with its waste. It's made from 532 individual sua mats. Those are traditional woven floor mats that provide places to sit and rest in many homes in Thailand. And when you join them all together, it's a giant supersized sua for the whole city. In this case, it was made from these discarded plastic rice bags. They were sourced, they were recycled, and then they were woven into these traditional Thai textile patterns by a local company. And let me show you another picture before I look at all the people. That's a big mat. Here it is for a little further away. The quote is this from the company that designed this. Around the world, people are understanding the need to think more about the objects they use and to see products as part of a connected ecological web. With the design of Megamat, they say we also wanted to celebrate it as an opportunity to see the possibilities created by putting an emphasis on recycled materials. In a city dominated by concrete, this mat creates a soft space where you can take off your shoes, you can sit down, you can lie down, you can read, you can play. So the mats, as you can see, are arranged into these concentric bands of color to create an 860 square meter infographic visualizing data about how Thailand deals with 2 million tons of plastic waste that it produces every year. Wow. The small green rectangles, here, I'll show you a little close up. So the small green rectangle uh, shows the amount of plastic currently being recycled. The surrounding yellow ring denotes the amount of waste that goes uncollected. The progressively larger, darker bands around the outside reflects how much waste ends up in landfills, with orange denoting sanitary landfills and the red representing the majority of waste ending up in unsanitary landfills with no barriers to prevent ground pollution. So that tells you the information. Look at the green in the middle. That's the recycled. Wow. One corner of the mega map propped up to create a small sheltered area housing an exhibition about plastic waste and recycling in Thailand. So they tell you all that. If you peek under this side that's lifted up, there's a little thing in there that'll tell you all about what you're looking at, what you're walking on, etc. And then, to ensure this woven plastic doesn't once again end up as waste when this installation comes to an end, Megamat was designed to be demounted into separate mats that will then be donated to local temples and used for yoga or upcycled into products like handbags. So they won't recontribute to the waste by getting rid of Megamat. I like this. I mean, an informative art project, right? Colorful, interesting. You can see underneath the lifted up edge there what's going on underneath. Gathering place, and really makes a statement about what's happening with plastics. Okay, I wanted to get to this. Do you see the puppy? Because it's the first thing I saw. This is newly called Puppy Mountain. I know. How could you miss it, right? I'm going to the chat. Do you guys see the puppy? I'm not alone, am I? Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. Yes, says Be Aware. Liz can see it. Rev can see it. Yes, totally see it, says Ms. Organic. How could you miss it? How could this be new? Yes, a big pup. Yeah, it could be Godzilla. It looks like a puppy. Yes, says Gordon. Louise sees it. Josh sees it. You see the snout? It's almost as if the dog is leaning down to drink water. You see the eyes, kind of the shape of a puppy head, right? I don't know. I saw it and I saw it immediately. And of course, this mountain has been around forever. But this man, he's a designer based in Shanghai. His name is Guo Qingshan. went on vacation, and he posts this photo on Valentine's Day, and he put the caption underneath Puppy Mountain. He went on a hike while he was visiting his hometown of Yichang in central China's Hubei province. And my apologies for people that speak Chinese and hear me butchering that. But this was in late January. And he said when he was going back through his pictures, he noticed something that he hadn't before, that this mountain was kind of shaped like a dog's head resting on the ground next to the Yangtze River. Its snout, he wrote, perched right at the water's edge. This is the quote. He said, "The puppy's posture is like it's drinking water or it's looking at some fish. It also looks like it's quietly protecting the Yangtze River." So he posted on this Chinese social media app. In English, it would be called Red Note. And it receives 120,000 likes within 10 days. And it goes viral. And now it's got millions of views. And then dog owners started posting pictures of their dogs to see which one had the closest resemblance to Puppy Mountain. There were people going directly to this location to see the mountain for themselves, some bringing their dogs to take pictures in front of Puppy Mountain. He now lives, this man, about an hour and a half from the location, apparently. Or I'm sorry, someone that went there did. They say, "I was really happy to see the mountain. I always travel with my dog with my dog if possible. So Puppy Mountain and my own little dog really match." This picture was taken from this observation deck. And a lot of people, once they saw this and realized that, yeah, it actually does look quite like a puppy, they started posting their own pictures that they had previously taken from the same deck. Many of people saying, "I didn't even realize it looked like a dog." Some saying that the appearance of this mountain has changed over the years. One person said, "After I saw the Puppy Mountain picture online, I tried to look up where it is and I realized I've been to this place before and I thought it looked like a dog at that time too." Well, you didn't say anything. So there it is, Puppy Mountain. It's so funny how it could be there with an observation deck overlooking it all this time. And it just takes one person to go, "Hey, doesn't that kind of look like a puppy to you?" Yes, yes, it does. And look at that. Yeah. Clifford the big mountain dog. Right. We need to get a really big biscuit for it, says Josh. Yeah. Can you see that? Like floating in the water right in front of it? A giant biscuit. Teacher Lori says, "When I saw this picture on Colbert, it took me a minute to see it." I guess so. It's, you know what? It's the eyes right here. I think, I don't know if you can see my arrow hovering. It's the eyes to me that made it right away, and the snout, the kind of end of the snout as well. Sandy says, "Ah, sleeping puppy. Looks like a beagle face," says Walnut. Sandy says, "Yeah, you can see his nose." Rev says, "Ah, it's King Kong's little buddy." B.A. Ware says, "Has a St. Bernard look to it." Kind of, yeah, it does. Yeah, big pup. I thought that was a cool picture. Yeah, Nullifidian, it's a wonder no one saw it sooner. Exactly. Just takes one person to go, "Hey, you know, looks like Puppy Mountain to me." And now it becomes a tourist hotspot. Guaranteed that overlook spot over Puppy Mountain is now packed every day. But it's a cool picture. Maybe one of the nostrils can be a cave on Monday. Yeah, I don't know if you can go in there. Maybe it's just greenery. Maybe it's not a cave. I don't know. The eyes kind of look cave-like, don't they? Maybe. Josh says, "I was looking for a whole dog at first." You see it now? The snout at the edge of the water, the eyes, the shape of the puppy. Maybe because that's kind of what my dog looks like as it's laying down with its my dog's face flat on the carpet. I don't know. I think it's very dog-like. Yeah. Nostril Blue Monday. Tammy says, "I see things other people don't. Sometimes it's good to keep things to yourself." I don't know. I'm kind of glad they shared this one. I've enjoyed seeing Puppy Mountain. Mm, very cool. Okay. Uh, shall we move to this Faker Baker? It's been hanging in a national gallery all this time. It turns out, hey, is that really a Rubens? There's some doubt now being cast on the authenticity of a Rubens painting hanging in the National Gallery. An art historian took a closer look at this painting and said, it's bad craftsmanship. This is supposedly a 17th century work entitled Samson and Delilah. But there were doubts about whether Peter Paul Rubens actually painted this picture. 45 years after it was bought for what was a record price at the time, it's now being dismissed as a 20th century copy of a long lost painting by the Flemish master. There's a detailed stylistic comparison between the painting and the undisputed Rubens pictures that is going to be presented in March by an art historian. Her name is Euphrosyne Doxiadis, and she has a book about it, and she's giving a lecture at King's College in London. And there's research in her book called NG6461, The Fake National Gallery Rubens. She argues in this book the flowing, twisting brush strokes that are so characteristic of Rubens are nowhere to be seen in Samson and Delilah. Rubens is known to have painted this type of subject between 1608 and 1609. But Doxiadis compares the Venus and Cupid statue shown in the Samson and Delilah with the back from Rubens, I guess. And she says it's bad craftsmanship. In the 17th century, it would be considered an unacceptable fiasco. She said Rubens would never have chopped off Samson's toes, and that such details differed from contemporary copies of his lost original. The toes featured in an engraving and a painting were not cut off like this. The book also includes a witness account from a late banker and art connoisseur contradicting the suggestion by the National Gallery that the painting's back had been glued to a blockboard sheet probably during the 20th century. This banker and art connoisseur shared an old photograph of the picture out of its frame before its sale in 1980, suggesting it was glued to a blockboard after that. Other research into this painting indicates there's further evidence against the attribution to Rubens. So, I don't know. They say knowing the picture was still a panel when it came to London in 1980 raises questions of why and by whom. It was planed down and mounted on a sheet of blockboard. The painting was bought in 1929 by a German dealer from a conservator called Gaston Levy, a Brazilian who'd been part of the Madrid circle of the Spanish artist, Joaquin Sorolla y Bastida. So, Doxiadis went straight to the Sorolla Museum, saw the first painting, recognized the inventory number, and that it was in keeping with 19th century tradition of art education. And I guess she says Levy and fellow students took on the challenge of recreating this masterpiece based on contemporary copies. So could it be a copy from that time and from that art school? She says probably, that this is a most likely legitimate copy that Levy and his fellow painters did under the supervision of their mentor, Sorolla, in Madrid. That the missing toes can now be explained when students make a copy of an old master. It's unwritten law that they should leave something out in order not to seem as if they are trying to deceive. So is it authentic? Is it not? She'll present her findings in March, but this is hanging in the National Gallery, and it looks like somebody got duped. You know what? I need to get to our Waterfall Wednesday. Otherwise, we're going to miss out on it completely. And today, our waterfalls take us to Canada. Blame Canada. These are the 10 must-see waterfalls in Canada. And of course, we know about Niagara Falls, but there are a lot of other waterfalls in Canada that are worth adding to the list. And so the first one, I have a picture. Try to make it bigger. Hold on. I don't want to make it so big that you can't see it, but I think it almost looks like a heart. Let me get rid of this. Doesn't it? Check this out. Isn't that, can you see the heart shape in the middle there? I think it looks like a heart with the rainbow and the mist. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. This is number 1 on the list of the top 10 waterfalls to see in Canada. And this one is called Helmken Falls, one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Canada, located at the majestic Wells Gray Provincial Park. Created to protect the powerful falls, the tumbling water has gradually created a large canyon at the base of the falls, and in the winter, frozen spray creates an icy wonderland along the edges. This one is easy to get to by the road. There's a platform available for viewing and getting that perfect shot. Maybe it's the mist that makes it look like a heart to me. I don't know. Despite being named after John Sebastian Helmken for his role in bringing British Columbia into Confederation, he passed away without ever even visiting this natural wonder. The second one on the list is called Athabasca Falls. I hope I'm saying that right. Athabasca Falls. Wow, that's beautiful. Look at that. Incredible. Again with the rainbow. Canada, you're killing me. One of the most beautiful waterfalls in Canada, Athabasca Falls, is a crown jewel in Alberta's legendary Jasper National Park. It cuts through rock. You can see it on the left there, and opens onto sweeping mountain vistas. Multiple routes and bridges allow for a variety of viewpoints. Before you get to this waterfall, you'll walk along this limestone gorge where fast-flowing water carved away smooth formations, leaving pretty little crevices swirling in whirlpools, ranging from milky white to aqua blue. The striking color of the water changing throughout the year, but they say it's always awe-inspiring. This next one, they've really outdone themselves with the name of this one. It's called Pissing Mare Falls. Not making it up. Pissing Mare Falls in Grossmorn National Park, Newfoundland and Labrador. Pissing Mare Falls, they say, might have a funny name, but no joke. It's among the highest waterfalls in Canada. It is in the Grossmorn National Park, only accessible by boat tour. Most of the time, this area is pretty deserted. The falls drop into Western Brook Pond, which is a freshwater fjord carved out by glaciers thousands of years ago. Towering cliffs covered with emerald green foliage provide a dramatic backdrop here, and it is a sight to remember. Pissing Mare Falls. Gotta love it. Clearly, this next one you want to visit during the autumn months because look at the color changes there. So pretty. Number 4 on the list is Shannon Falls and Shannon Falls Provincial Park in British Columbia. It runs over a series of granite cliffs into the Howe Sound and eventually into the Pacific Ocean. Really easy to get to this one. You go 2 kilometers south of Squamish along the sea to Sky Highway. They say getting here is a breeze. It's best viewed in the spring or the autumn, as photographed here. The falls are only 200 meters from the parking lot, and they're on a paved path. And once you arrive at the falls, there's a series of trails and boardwalks that will allow you to further explore the surroundings. Beautiful. These falls are the 3rd highest in British Columbia. Number 5 on the list, Takakkaw Falls. Takakkaw Falls. Wow. Look at that. Now that's a picture Incredible. I'm going to make that a little bigger. Wow. That's Takaka Falls in Yoho National Park, British Columbia. In Cree, Takaka means the magnificent. And this is the second highest waterfall in Canada. Not easy to get here. It's a steep drive up a winding road, but the falls are a short hike from the parking lot once you do get there. They say the falls can be seen from far away, but up close, the views are spectacular. There's a magnificent roar to the water and cold mist, and that provides a whole sensory experience when you see it up close. So, the road to get here only open from the end of June to mid-October, and it's all dependent on the weather as well. Number 6 is called Virginia Falls, also Nelicho Falls. This is in Nahanni National Park Reserve in the Northwestern Territories. And it's a beautiful waterfall as well. One of the multiple waterfalls, right? I'll back out a little bit so you can see it. Where you can see 1, 2, 3, at least 3 coming down here. Twice the height of Niagara Falls, this massive waterfall is on the South Nahanni River in the Northwest Territories. In the Nelicho language, the South Slavey language, the word means big river falling. The remote location means it receives about 1,000 visitors per year. So again, pretty remote. You've got to get here by either float plane or canoe. But what a beautiful view and amazing wildlife watching in this area as well. Next one is called, you tell me what it's called. We know this one. How is it only number 7 on the list? Yeah, we've seen this one before. This is Niagara Falls in Ontario, made up of 3 different falls. Horseshoe Falls is the only one located on the Canadian side. Awe-inspiring, easy to get to. Horseshoe Falls, the most powerful in North America. Receding glaciers formed the falls thousands of years ago, and the beautiful greenish color of them is due to dissolved salts and finely ground rock. You got to take the Hornblower boat cruise when you go here. The Maid of the Mist boat tour. Operated from 1846 to 2013, and now the Hornblower replaced that. So, okay, the next one is called Montmorency Falls. Here it is. Look at that. I bet that's really cool from the bridge above it. Can you see the bridge up there, right above the waterfall? That's pretty special. This is right outside Quebec City. These falls higher than Niagara Falls, actually, and a suspension bridge over the crest of the falls allows for multiple views of the tumbling torrent. This according to Reader's Digest. The St. Lawrence River, and they say a funicular is available to transport you from the top to the bottom. For those who want to get their daily steps in, there's a wooden staircase there. The waterfalls are accessible year-round, and the winter spray freezes to create a layer of flowing ice, climbed only by the bravest or most foolhardy, depending on your perspective. Number 9 is called Bridal Veil Falls. It seems like there's a lot of Bridal Veil Falls. This is so pretty, though. Look at that. I'll make it bigger. Yeah. There's Bridal Veil Falls. Bridal Veil Falls is in Bridal Veil Falls Provincial Park in British Columbia. The water gently cascading over smooth rock. Easy 15-minute walk to the falls with lush foliage, cedars, hemlocks, and ferns. Picnic tables are there. Lots of opportunity to view wildlife. Popular hang gliding and paragliding site nearby as well, if you want a bird's eye view of this. And last on the list is Kakabeka Falls. Here it is. Wow. Kind of looks a little bit Niagara-ish in its grandeur. Kakabeka Falls in Ontario, named the Niagara of the North. This magnificent waterfall, and last on our list for this Waterfall Wednesday, is about 30 kilometers west of Thunder Bay. The Kakabeka in Ojibwe means waterfall over a cliff. There are trails here. This place is easily accessible. There's this whole big platform you can see up there that wraps around the top of the waterfall. Tumbling waters plunge 40 meters, making it the second highest waterfall in Ontario. And the waters descend into a gorge that has been carved out of Precambrian shield. Along with being home to some of the oldest fossils in the world, the spot is also one of the traditional fur trade routes of the voyagers. So there you go. There's some good waterfalls today, my friends. I enjoyed them. I hope you enjoyed Waterfall Wednesday. Took a little breath, imagine the roar of the water, have a little relaxation as we move forward into our Wednesday. All right, I'm going into the chat to see what you guys have to say before we end the show. I know I've kept you a little bit after 2 today, but that's the way it is, right? I'll leave the waterfall up there while I look at your chats. Happy little trees. Yeah, that's the whole point. Relaxing, right? So beautiful. Overrated, oversold. I think you're talking about Niagara Falls there. Ricky Aubert has to go see all the beautiful images in today's show. Yeah, there's some good waterfall images. The roaring sound. Funicular is a ding word. Well, I read it. I didn't come up with it on my own today, so I don't think I deserve the ding. No. Yeah, wonderful. Feel so relaxed now. Good. Yay. That's the whole point. Everyone take a deep collective breath on Waterfall Wednesday. So then we have the patience to get through the rest of the week, right? We can do it. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, David Katz will be on the show. And just a show note, please don't forget that Nikki's show happens on Thursday as well. 5 p.m. Cocktails, mocktails, politics on the Nikki Maduro Show. Please join me. And Nikki, it's so much fun. We have the best talk, and we love to have you along for the ride on that show. That's the Nikki Maduro Show, 5 p.m. on YouTube, and so I hope you'll join for that. And of course, all of the shows, the Mark Thompson Show, the After Party Live, the Nikki Maduro Show, are also available on podcast on all the podcast platforms that you listen to audio only. You're not going to get on this show, you're not going to get the beauty of the pictures that we're talking about, but if you only had audio to listen to, that's available as well. Thank you to Wes for always kicking into the show. You can find the PayPal information in the show description every day. It's also above in the About tab on the After Party Live, and that's a live link you can click on if you're so inclined to help crowdfund this show. Otherwise, thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments and participation, and make it a great rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow right back here on the old YouTube. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
I don't know, but I can tell you this. If you have a suggestion for a topic, please email me, Kim@theafterparty.live, Kim@theafterparty.live.